And welcome to our Lean In devotional series. This is our first devotional in this series, and today I want to talk to you guys about two things. Number one, your calling, and number two, Psalm 46 verse 10. Now, I understand in society right now, there's a lot of uncertainty around, like our finances, health, and how long this virus is going to be here, and what's tomorrow going to look like, how will I pay my bills, and there's so many things or factors rather that we're uncertain about, and so many things that we can't control, and it feels like it's so above us and so out of our control and out of our reach. But I want to shift your focus to Ephesians 4 verse 1. It says that we should live a life that is worthy of the calling because God has called us. So just stop there for a moment and just think about this. God has called you. He's called you to a time such as this. In Psalm 139, it talks about how God knit us together in our mother's womb and how He has ordained all the days of our lives. So God has called us, He's ordained us, and He knew that we would be here in 2020. He knew that we would be situated in South Africa, wherever you find yourself in the world right now, whether it's South Africa or another country, or whether you're in Joburg or Pretoria. And He knew that we would be here in 2020. He knew that we would be here in this pandemic. But God has called us to live a life that is worthy of the calling. And just think about that. He's called us, He's ordained us, and He knew that we would be here. So that means that His Holy Spirit is with us, functioning with us to strengthen us, to help us persevere and endure these times. And His Spirit is here so that we would have an eternal perspective. But if you're still feeling anxious and you still have all these uncertainties, I want to encourage you with Psalm 46 verse 10. It says that we should be still and know that He's God. And being still, knowing that He's God, is not necessarily being worry-free, because it doesn't really work like that. There's never really a moment where all of a sudden we can just be like, you know what, all these things that I have to do, I'm just gonna toss it aside and I'll just be fine, because that's not how life works. But rather, God is saying, bring all of these things to me, submit it to me, because I am God and I am in control, and I ordain you to be in a time such as this. I called you and I love you, and I want you to be a part of my kingdom, to participate in my kingdom, to move in my kingdom. And these times are a call for us to really become still before the presence of God, so that God can speak His eternal truth over us, because there's a calling on each and every one of our lives. There's a calling on my life, there's a calling on your life, and God has called you to be alive in 2020. He's called you to be His hands and His feet, to be a light in 2020, to place your light on a table so that the whole household can see. Not underneath the bed where no one can see it, but rather He's called you to place your light on a table so the whole household can see. And when we come out of this, because guess what, coronavirus is going to blow away, and we are going to get to a place where we can move in society as normal. But God is not calling us to normal. God is calling us to extraordinary. And I want to encourage you that God has called you, and there's a calling on your life, and there's purpose on your life. And with purpose on your life, God is calling us to submit all our anxieties, all our uncertainties before Him, because He's in control, and He's in control of our lives. So you can either look at your circumstances and be overwhelmed by that, or you can place it before His feet and be completely overwhelmed by His presence that will give you perfect peace, because He is a God of love. And coming out of that, if you look back at it, Ephesians 4 verse 1 is saying, live a life that's worthy of your calling. God is saying that because, well, He's called you to be His hands and feet in this time. So wherever there's anxiety or uncertainty, place it at His feet so that you can live and operate with eternal perspective, so that you can operate and respond to the Holy Spirit, not the circumstances that surround you, but rather from an eternal point of view. So place it before His feet and be still, trust Him, and know that He is God.